Mixed martial arts, otherwise known as MMA, is one of the fastest growing sports in the world. It has gone from being relatively unknown to providing big names such as Conor McGregor. MMA allows fighters to use multiple grappling and striking techniques such as jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. So what does it take to become a fighter, and who are the people behind MMA? Matt Inman is an ex-MMA fighter and is now head coach at SBG Manchester.
My professional MMA record is 20 wins, 10 losses. You see how that knocks him over? As I walk through. Maybe partner give it a go, 2 for 2. I think the biggest ones were fights where everything looked like I was going to lose and I managed to turn it around. That was like a bit of a personal victory for myself. You can probably, if you watch through my career, you'll see which those fights are. I got hit a lot in them, so I can't really remember that many of them, to be honest. Biggest thing people don't understand about being a fighter who aren't a fighter is they see fight night, so they see the music and the fight performance and all that. They don't recognise the 8 weeks leading up to that and the 2 years before that, where it's coming in here at 10 o'clock every morning when it's freezing cold and grinding out repetitive session after session, doing the same thing week in, week out. Sacrifices I made to maintain a career in fighting, just the normal stuff really, injuries, damage to my body, constantly restricting calories. I lost a lot of friends because you don't go out drinking or anything like that, ever. Like if you put this much time into doing something and you're doing it professionally, you know, that's time that you could have been studying, you could have been working up as a career, doing whatever, you know, like, but do you really want to work in an office anyway, if you like doing this? I started coaching just as a natural progression really, just from being in the gym all the time and needing to make some money whilst I was fighting. And then I think I found out I probably had more of an ability for that than I did for the actual fighting itself. And I was never particularly talented, whatever that means, you know, I didn't have great attributes or anything like that, so everything I had from fighting I had to work very hard for it. Through that experience I've developed an ability to coach people a little bit better because I've been there myself and done that.
One of Matt's fighters is Abdul Chowdhury, an amateur flyweight fighter and coach. He is currently 1 week out from a flyweight championship fight.
My name's Abdul Chowdhury, I'm 11 and 4 I think. I've had a few fights but I think that's right. Well, I started researching MMA for one of my college courseworks and I realised I've never watched the thing, so I decided to watch it because I'm fair like that, and I really liked it. I spent the rest of that summer just binge drinking energy drinks, watching UFC, and then I decided to just join up to a gym. I think what made me want to fight was just wanting to really see how far I can get good at fighting. And when I first joined the gym, I never wanted to be a fighter. I just wanted to just get kinda okay at defending myself. Prepare myself for a fight by just training properly. That comes down to just purposeful practice, making sure I'm getting the right rounds in, making sure my practice actually looks like what I want my performance to look like. So building skills where I'm not that skillful, sharpening parts of my game that I think are sharp, managing stress, managing emotions, making sure I'm not making excuses in the gym and all that kind of stuff, approaching it properly. Worst part is probably missing the food. I mean, I'm right now I'm in the thick of my weight cut. I'm craving food that I don't even like. I don't even like pizza. I really want some pizza right now. The best part is also the same thing. Oddly enough, it's not the food itself, but making the sacrifices, because then you know you're doing something difficult. After this fight, turn pro. You know, I fought the best amateurs in my division. I've hit that #1 spot before 2 years ago. I fought the best amateurs in the world over in IMAF. There's really nowhere for me to fight as an amateur. Right now, all the fights I get offered against like hometown kids or whatever it is. So I've paid my dues, I've got my skin in the game, it's time to turn pro. My upcoming fight, I think this is definitely going to be my best performance yet. I'm bigger than I usually am, which doesn't say a lot, but you know, I'm bigger than I usually am, I'm stronger, a lot stronger than I usually am. I'm leaner than I usually am, and I'm meaner than I usually am. And I've practiced that in training. I'm also a lot more sharper everywhere.
Far from the glitz and glamour of the UFC, fighters around the world are fighting in much smaller promotions. Abdul is making that walk tonight for a flyweight championship fight. Championship fights last 5 rounds. The fight can be won by knockout, submission, ref stoppage or the judges' scorecards. Abdul will be joined by Matt Inman in his corner.
Use your straight shots, Abdul.
Keep fighting him, Abdul.
Round 1 begins and Abdul takes charge of his opponent. Abdul dominates his opponent on the ground and leaves his opponent looking lost. In the final moments, Abdul postures up off his opponent and lands some vital strikes. In between each round, Matt is able to give Abdul vital advice from his experience. Round 2 begins with Abdul's opponent needing to make up for lost momentum in the first round. He tries to take advantage of his superior reach, but Abdul manages to maintain the correct distance to minimise the striking opportunities for his opponent.
Keep the pressure.
Abdul now needs to try and use his superior grappling skills to tie his
Shot,
opponent
Abdul.
out.
Good work. Head position.
Keep the pressure.
Outside hook.
Control. Hips heavy.
Abdul secures a takedown. This will gain him vital points from the judges.
Watch for his feinting, Abdul.
Round 3 begins and Abdul must keep up his good start to secure another winning round. His opponent comes out strong, throwing powerful striking shots. Abdul reads his opponent's advances well and knows he must close the distance down to get a takedown.
1 minute, Abdul, 1 minute. Use your left.
He finishes the round on top again. Round 4 begins and Abdul cannot afford to slip up now. However, his opponent knows he could be down on the judges' scorecards. Abdul takes his opponent down and finishes the 4th round on top. Round 5 is the final round and Abdul gets hit with strong shots early on from his opponent. Abdul cannot afford to let this fight run away from him in the final round if he wants the belt. Abdul maintains his composure and gets a vital takedown to gain control of his opponent. He finishes the 5th and final round on top. But was that enough to win the fight? After 5 grueling rounds, the fight will now go to the judges' scorecards. Abdul wins the fight via unanimous decision, ending his amateur career with a win and a belt.
Fucking Thursday, they had my weight cut. They've had my kidneys, I to tell you. I didn't tell my weight cut and just because she pulled me out. I told you yesterday, she was sick.
They actually asked for him back.
Yeah,
Chris tried to say mine, not you, bro, and I fucking chucked him on the floor. I'm hard.
you're not getting this fucking belt back.
And then fucking ripped it.
Being involved in MMA is by no means easy, but the self-achievement it seems to give you is addictive for everyone involved with the sport.
Don't get into fighting to be cool on Instagram. Your friends that you think like you, because you fight, they're not your friends.
Don't get into this for any other reason than loving to do what you do it for. If you get into this thinking you're going to be the next Conor McGregor and you're going to make tons of money and stuff like that, you could be right, but odds are you're going to be disappointed.